Hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mimo Joyce. For those of you who are new here, thank you for clicking on my YouTube channel. Thank you for even deciding to watch this video. And guys, as I always say, I will never get tired of telling you thank you. Today guys, I'm going to start my video by telling you just a short story about my life growing up. And to start with, I was born and raised by a very staunch Christian family. And we all know Christians. They value so much the virtue of being obedient. And so my life growing up, I also learned to value so much the virtue of being obedient. And honestly, my life growing up, I don't want to even lie to you guys. I didn't get a chance of saying no to many things. Like it's kind of I mastered the art of saying yes to literally everything, and so I didn't get a chance of saying no to many things. Like I didn't get a chance of expressing myself, expressing how I feel, because most of the time saying no, especially to your parents and to your elder people, most of the time saying no meant you are a disobedient kid, you are a rebellious kid. And most of the time, actually, saying no meant that you will end up being punished because of saying no. And after growing up, I mastered and crammed the art of just saying yes. And honestly, it have really costed me so much because as much as saying yes is so sweet to the ears, as much as saying yes is so sweet to the parents, as much as saying yes is it makes you being appreciated, being loved by your colleagues, by your friends, by wherever. Sometimes saying yes costs so much about us, costs so much in our lives. I don't know if you have ever sat down and think about something that you regret in your life, some decision that you made, some influence some peer pressure that you succumbed to. I don't know if you have ever sat down and realized that the major reason why you may be passed through all that is because you said at a given point, you said a given yes that you are supposed to say no. As much as yes is so sweet to the ears, as much as it's so good to say yes, sometimes saying yes is not the right thing. Sometimes saying yes, especially when maybe with your friends, when you say yes to each and every person, to each and every friend of you, they all need your attention. If you say yes to every one of them, you end up being pulled everywhere to an extent that you are left with nothing. It's good to say yes. I'm not telling anyone to just start being rebellious here. It's good to say yes, but it's also good to know when to say no. If I say yes to helping each and every person around me, I will end up having nothing for myself. As much as saying yes and helping other people is so good, it costs me. And so it's good to learn and master the art of saying no. And today, guys, in this video, I want to teach you about 4 major instances that you should learn to say no. And the first instance that you should learn to say no is when you feel like saying yes will overwhelm you, like you be overworked. Yeah, I don't know if you understand. An instance whereby with your colleagues, when you are with your colleagues and maybe there is a lot of job, when you just learn to say yes to each and every colleague, like you end up having so much like in your hand more than you can handle. And in that point, it's good to say no. Like just learn to say no when you feel like you are overworked, you are overburdened. Just learn to say no, because at that point, saying no is the right thing. So learning to say no saves your life. And I learned the art of saying no when when I started valuing myself, because sometimes I felt like I was sacrificing myself so much because of like literally everybody around me. Like I was just sacrificing myself, like sacrificing my time for everyone who needs me, sacrificing my finances for every person who needs me, sacrificing my peace of mind for every person who needs me, to an extent that I was left with nothing. And at that point, I learned that it's good to say no. And it does not mean that you are a bad friend. It does not mean that you are a bad spouse. It does not mean like maybe you're a bad sister or a bad brother. It only means that you also value yourself. As much as you value others, you also value yourself. And so the first instance that you should learn to say no is when you feel like you are overloaded, you are overworked, like you can't handle it. Don't just say yes for the sake of pleasing others and end up losing yourself. Yeah, that's one instance that you should learn to say no. Another instance that you should learn to say no, and I learned the hard way. The another instance that you should learn to say no is when you feel uncomfortable. When a given yes puts you in a space whereby you feel like you are not comfortable, it's good to say no. It's good to say no and have the peace of mind, because you are the only person who know yourselves better. In that point, kindly learn to say no, because when you say yes to such point, you end up regretting later. Yeah. Another instance that you should learn to say no is when you feel like a given yes crosses your boundaries. Like, like there is something that I can do and there is something that I can't do. If saying yes means you doing something that you know that you can't do, kindly say no. So if you feel like a given yes is crossing your boundaries, kindly learn to say no. Because when you say yes in such instances, later you end up regretting, later you end up feeling overwhelmed, later you end up feeling so bitter about yourself, later you end up beating yourself, saying you feeling so guilty because you did something that it was against your virtue, it was against your belief, it was against what you really want. Yeah. Another instance that is good to say no to, it's when you feel like you're just saying yes to please someone. Like, a given yes is not going to add any value in your life, but you just say yes so that you can please others. It's good to please others. I'm not saying that it's bad to please others. But if you're pleasing others at the expense of you, it's not good. Pleasing others should not come at the cost of losing our happiness. So when you feel like you're just saying yes because you want to please others, kindly reconsider your yes. Kindly reconsider yourself, because otherwise you're going to regret. Later you're going to feel used because you just say yes so that you can please them, but that's not who you are. First instance is that when you feel uncomfortable, please don't say yes to something that you don't feel comfortable. Don't say yes to a task that you obviously know that you can't handle. Please don't say yes to that, because it will not end up well. Don't say yes when you feel you are overwhelmed. If you feel you are overworked, kindly don't say yes. Learn to say no, because you end up feeling so used, you end up feeling so overwhelmed, and later you obviously going to regret your decision. Learn to say no when you feel like when you say yes, it's going to cross your boundaries. And the last point is that it's good to say no when you feel like you're just saying yes to just please your friends. And I know saying no sometimes, especially to in our colleagues, in our place of work, to our friends, saying no to our bosses, sometimes it's not a good idea. And sometimes, as much as saying no will save our lives, sometimes saying the same no can cost our minds, can cost our job, can cost our friendship, can cost our relationship. So it's good to, when you are saying you are no, it's good to express yourself. Let someone know that I'm saying no because of this and this and this. Maybe someone wants your time, maybe you meet after a job, you have maybe a good time, or maybe they feel like you are neglecting them because you don't get time for them, maybe on weekdays, and on weekdays you work maybe 8 to 5. Just let them know that like you value them, but you don't have time on weekdays. Maybe that's an example, so that your no does not put you in bad space. Yeah. So like, just learn how to say no in a good way, in a way that you express yourself, so that it will not put you in a bad space. Yeah. And guys, I'm not going to do a long video, but what I just wanted to drive across is that it's not each and every point we say yes. Like, it's good not to just say yes to literally everything, because many times if you just cram the art of saying yes to everything, like literally everything, believe me, you are going to regret later. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel bitter about yourself. You're going to even hate yourself. You're even going to hate your friends. If you end up like sacrificing so much because of your friend, because of a yeses, because you don't know how to say no, you will end up hating your friends for no reason. Just learn and master the art of saying no in a polite manner. Sometime back, I was just a people pleaser. Like, I was just doing some things because not what I want, but I was just doing things, especially to my friends, to my family, to my colleagues. I was just doing things so that I can be good space with them, like just to please them, so that they can be happy with me. When I learned that as much as saying yes can maybe make them love me or maybe like me, it made me lose myself. It made me hate myself. It actually made me feel like I'm so weak. Like when you ask me to do something that I know I don't want to do, and then I end up saying yes, believe me, you like I will later regret it, and I will later feel so bad, and I will later like feel so guilty and feel so weak. I will ask myself like, why am I so weak? Why am I not able to express myself, guys? I don't want to make a lengthy video, but my whole idea about doing this video was just to let you know that it's not all each and every time that we say yes. But remember, when you are saying no, kindly express yourself in a way that does not portray that you are rebellious, or maybe you don't value your friendship, you don't value your work, because as much as saying no will save your life, it can also ruin your life if you don't do it in a proper manner. So guys, thank you for watching until the end. Please continue subscribing, continue liking, continue commenting, and until next time guys, bye bye. I love you.